So today I've got another one of these videos which I'm putting in the category called Techniques. There's been one so far, this one's going to be the second one I think. And they're just like, I've been making these swatch books to show loads of different ways of using all the different Nuvo products. So this one is on the Nuvo Pure Sheen Glitters, Confettis and Sequins as well. So before I go through the kind of techniques that I've done in the swatch book, I wanted to go through how the glitters have, and the confettis and sequins stuff have come out over time, because you might have got them at different times and, you know. So originally they came out with, I only have a few of these, the giant bottles of the Pure Sheen glitters. Originally there was only glitter, and they came in these enormous, gorgeous, giant gem-topped bottles that have 100 millilitres in them. I definitely recommend buying like the diamond and the ice white in this size, because I get through, well actually I've used it a lot, but there's still like 4/5 of the bottle. So and this one came in one of the craft kits as well. So yeah, this was how they originally brought out their glitters. Then they brought out collections of 4, and they brought out glitters and confettis and sequins as well. So I've still got these brand new ones that are going to be in a giveaway at some point. And these sets of 4, they came in glass bottles that were 25 mils, and they did, I think they did 3 different colour collections. I think it was like Golden Years, and then like Close to My Heart or something like that, and then the peacock feathers. So you had a pinky purpley one, a bluey greeny one, and then like the gold and silver and stuff. But they came out in a set of like 4 with glitters, and then 4 that had confetti or sequins. I think maybe only the Golden Years actually had sequins in them. But this is how they came out then, and they kind of, yeah, they're matching colours. So you had the coordinating colours of glitter and sequins that came out, and these ones were in glass bottles. Then, oh, this is 2 of them opened. You can hear that they're glass. And they've got the gorgeous Nuvo in the lid of them. And then, yeah, then they brought out larger sizes of them. And these came out in 2018 with all of their colour trends. So they match like the Arabian Nights and the Festive Season, Ocean Air, and the other one was Surprise Party. And these came out in slightly bigger bottles, and these ones are plastic. And the size of these are 35 mils, so they were 25 mils. And then they brought out slightly bigger ones, 35 mils in plastic bottles. And they didn't have as many. I think there was a few that matched each of the colour trends. And they brought out like bigger sequins, because in the original releases they were just tiny cup sequins. So they brought out bigger sequins and glitters and things, and other confettis as well. Then they brought out 2 Christmas collections, going back to the same style of bringing out 4 in a set. And they had Jingle Bells and Let It Snow, but there were 3 packs for each of the colours, I think, and 1 was glitter, 1 was confetti, and 1 was sequins. I have filmed a whole video doing an up close look of them, but I haven't edited it yet, so hopefully that will be up at some point as well. But anyway, so they were plastic bottles, and you got 4 sets. That's why the box looked smaller for these ones when they came out, because they were plastic. They didn't need as much packaging to protect them, so the box was actually smaller with them in. But the tubs are exactly the same size, so 25 mil. They're the Christmas ones that came out were exactly the same amount of each that you got in the glass ones from the original. And you had the red, gold, green colours were in the Jingle Bells collection, and then blues and whites and silvers were in the Let It Snow collection. These are a couple of the Let It Snow ones. You had the snowflakes, which is my favourite, and another, well, lots of like glitters and things as well. This one's a gorgeous one. And then most recently, for 2019, they're bringing out their colour trends throughout the year, and these were the ones that came out in the Dream in Colour collection. So I think for most of the collections, they're bringing out a glitter, some sequins, and then a couple of confettis. So we had the Sweet Peach Circle, which is my favourite, the Rainbow Quartz Triangles, Mermaid Parade Glitter, and their sequins now, they're bringing them out in packs that have 3 different sizes in them. So if you like to scatter sequins across cards like I do, you've got the 3 different sizes now, rather than just having all one large size or a small size. There's 3 different ones in there now. So anyway, I thought I'd just do a little quick intro to what the glitters and stuff are, and then I will get on to showing you the 22 technique-y things that I've written down in this swatch book. Okay, so this is my little swatch book that I've made. I think I'm going to take it off of the ring just so it's easier to show you on the camera. And I've tried to order this in a kind of a logical order for like simpler to more complicated or more fussy kind of techniques, or using other products with the glitters and stuff as well. But yeah, so I'm hoping this will be helpful to a lot of people, and I'm kind of being selfish with these videos, because it's like it's a reminder to me as well. Like, I have all of these ideas and think them all up, but sometimes I just completely forget I even thought of it, and then I make a card and I'm like, oh, this is such a cool technique, and then I realise I already did it like a year ago, and I was like, oh okay. But anyway, so this one is one of my like favourite basic techniques to use with the glitter. You literally take your Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive or any like wet glue that you like using, and just run a thin bead of it around the edge of your panel that you've been making, and then you literally just dump on some glitter, and you just get this cute little edge to your piece that you've been working on. So that's the like most basic kind of thing I was thinking of. Then you can also obviously just embellish your cards with the sequins that they have in their ranges. This is showing that 3 different sizes of the silver ones just there. But I wanted to show how Nuvo really think about their colours, and they match everything to go together. So if you don't like the hole in the middle of a sequin, like say you're more of a gem person, but you get some of these sequins because you bought them in a bundle or something, and you're thinking, I'm not really going to use them because I don't like the hole in the middle, you can pick out a Nuvo drop that will probably almost exactly match the colour, and just put a Nuvo drop in the centre to cover up that hole. So I thought it would be nice just to show that. So I think this one's called Olive Branch on top of the prickly pear sequins. This is one of the newer purple glitters. Let me find it. It's not, is it that one? Yes, Lilac Whisper, that one was. I think that's the Alaskan blue sequins, I don't know, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then we've got some of the like ivory sequins that came out, and that's the Cookies and Cream Nuvo drop that I've put on there. And then these are the ones I just showed you from the Dream in Colour collection, that Silver Rain with the 3 sizes, and I just put the Silver Moon Dust in the centre of them. Then you can just put out a blob of glue and sprinkle the glitter on to create your own glittery Nuvo drop as well. It does have more of a texture than if you'd use a Nuvo drop, because obviously that would be encapsulated in the glue. And this I did use Deluxe Adhesive, and you can kind of see in that middle one, it doesn't hold its dimension very well, so it kind of went in a donut shape. But you could use white or clear from the actual Nuvo drop range and just sprinkle the glitter on if you'd rather, or even any of your gloss or metallic colours. If you wanted a glittery version but you don't have any of the glitter drops, or you don't have that particular colour, you could just sprinkle the glitter over the top of them as well. You have to be a little bit careful, because I was tapping the glitter off and then I realised that they sort of went a bit splodgy to one side. But yeah, that's the only thing you've got to be careful of. So that's just that basic technique. This one, another one of my favourite kind of things to do with the glitter. This is using one of the double-sided adhesive sheets from Craft Perfect and Tonic, and that is the Diamond Glitter. And I've just put it on and used it over the top of a pattern paper, but you can equally do this over an inky stamped background that you've done as well. So I just showed it on pattern paper because it's easier. but it just shows how much of the pattern shows through the glitter, and you can also stamp your sentiment under there and do the same thing. But you do need to use high quality sticky sheets, because that wide roll of double-sided that I often use is kind of cloudy, and some just normal double-sided adhesive rolls are kind of a cloudy adhesive, but you want one that's really clear so that you can actually see what's underneath when you put the glitter on top. And you probably do want to use the diamond glitter rather than the ice white, because ice white seems to like completely obliterate what's underneath. So that's that. Then this was a piece of card that I had just stuck some double-sided adhesive onto, and then die cut it with the die going into the side with the double-sided adhesive, and then I stuck them onto the card, peeled off the backing of the double-sided, and then added on some glitter. So you can do cool glittered die cuts. I think you can, depending how detailed your die is, you could just die cut the actual sticky sheet. So say you just wanted spots all over your card, or like hexagons or something, you could just die cut that basic shape and then peel the backing off the double-sided sheet and stick them down and glitter them. But for intricate ones, I recommend sticking it onto card first and then die cutting it. Then this other technique, which well, you know, Tonic do a lot of them now actually, where you get the intricate die that has a complete cutting edge, but then they've given you an extra bubble die around it. They do it with their words as well, like the Will's Hand words, and a lot of the new ones they've been bringing out recently, like the ones that came out in the Mermaid collection and stuff. So you die cut both of them together, and then you take out the sort of in-between part, if that makes sense. So you're left with a whole bubble that's open. You put the double-sided adhesive on the back, but before you put the glitter on, you then stick the intricate die cut back inside, then you put the glitter on. So then you just get the glitter around the areas, and I tried to do a sort of bit of an ombre of glitters on that one just to show it. I just used snowflakes because the original card I did this idea on was using the snowflakes, and these are from the Winter Spruce die set that came out last Christmas. So that's that. Then you can also just use the glitters and confetti straight onto double-sided adhesive, and this was actually just using the backing from double-sided adhesive to mask off different sections to give a sort of pattern, and also ripping it and masking it off to then sort of give like a hilly texture as well. And on that top one there, that's actually stranded confetti on that one too, and then just different tones of glitter. And the more you press it down, you see these flatter bits, I really pressed that into it, but these bits that look more textured, I just haven't pressed the glitter into the adhesive as much, so you can get a variation in the finish, or you have two different finishes if you'd rather have one or the other rather than a mixture. Then you can have your double-sided adhesive on your backing piece, stick your die cuts on, so it's kind of like this version, but you're just doing it over an entire background and just sticking the intricate die cuts on top of it and then adding your glitter. And again, I tried to do a kind of an ombre effect going from purples to pink. Then this one is adding on your double-sided sheet and then like sparsely sprinkling on some of the confetti, and then adding a glitter over the top as well. I like to do it with coordinating colours of glitter. I think this one I did actually use the turquoise stars and then the Mermaid Parade glitter rather than using the turquoise glitter as well. But that's doing it sparsely, and then you can do it the other way around, so you add on a load of the confetti, like these hexagons, and then you just fill in the rest of the area with glitter to cover the rest of the adhesive. So you can have two different versions, either mostly glitter and a little bit of confetti, or mostly confetti with a little bit of glitter. And also, if you're doing one like this with the red, or like with a dark colour, you might get better results if you actually used red card underneath, because then if anything pings off, you wouldn't be able to see the white card like you can there, you'd see red card underneath. So that's another thing that you can do. Then this technique is like age-old technique. The first time me and my mum bought any of like the ultra-fine glitters, which was probably like 10-15 years ago, we bought them to do this technique. So you put your double-sided adhesive down, then you take a piece of lace. Mine's dirty because I've been using it on the jelly plate and stuff. So then you take your piece of lace, you stick it onto the double-sided sheet, and you sprinkle through the first colour and burnish it in. Here I used ice white. So you burnish it into the adhesive whilst the lace is on top of it, right? Then you tap off all of the excess of the glitter, and then you peel off the lace. It comes off really easily. And then you go back in with your second colour and fill in all the gaps. So you get like a glittered lace look, which is really cool. So this was the lace that I used. I can't remember where I got it from now. But yeah, just a flowery pattern of lace. And then, as I was doing that, I was thinking, I wonder how else you could do this. I know you can do it with stencils, but I'm always scared that my stencil might get stuck. And especially if it's got fine detail, I wouldn't want to rip bits in the wrong places. So, I thought, why not die cut the backing sheet off the adhesive? So you've stuck your piece of adhesive onto here or wherever, and you've kept the backing sheet. Then you can die cut the backing sheet and then do exactly the same as you did for the lace technique, but do it with a die cut, like with tonic die cuts. This is one of their patterned panel dies, and because you've used the backing sheet, it obviously is going to stick to the adhesive because it was already on there, but it comes off really easily, like even easier than the lace. So you do exactly the same thing. You put double-sided down, you stick this on top, you put one lot of glitter, make sure all the excess off, peel it off, and then put the other lot of glitter, and it gives a really, really cool look. So that's that cool effect. Then another thing that you've probably got, if you've been crafting for ages, you've probably got lying around, skeleton leaves. So putting double-sided adhesive onto the tag or your background, then pressing in skeleton leaves, and you can use the backing piece that you peeled off from the adhesive and put it back over the top so you can really press them in, and then adding glitter over the top. So that was using two different greens to try and give a sort of ombre effect and show it can be more subtle if you use a lighter colour, or it can be more evident if you use a darker colour. I really like that technique. I think it was really cool. I've only done it in a video once before and I didn't like how the card came out, so but hopefully I'll remember to do that again. Then another one of my favourite techniques, you will have seen this video, and I added it into my CRaFTi Advent series, so there's actually a voiceover version of this video as well. And so basically you cut your intricate die out, you stick it onto acetate, you trim around the outside edge. It's really easy, this feather, because you can trim underneath these little pokey out bits. You don't have to trim all the way around them. Then you flip it over, you pick different sections and add glue to certain sections. Firstly, sprinkle on a bit of confetti. I used the hot pink stars on this one. Then sprinkle on the glitter, tip off the excess, add more glue to a different area, pick a different colour of glitter, add that on, tip off the excess, and then fill in the final sections and add the last colour of glitter, and you get this really cool look. So that's that one. I think it's called like a faux stained glass kind of a look, and that's that feather strip die. Then you'll have seen a video using the Mermaid dies where I did this technique as well, but I'd used the peach circles for this one because they're smaller than this confetti that I've used. This is the Festival Gold circle confetti. But for this, so I traced that heart shape from the outside of the die cut. Then I just added on a thick layer of my craft tacky glue. Then I just doused it in the confetti, pressed it in some places just to get it to hold nicely. Then you wait for it to dry, tip off the excess, and then stick your intricate die cut over the top, and you get this really cool look behind it. Then on that same kind of theme, but I used the actual negative piece from this die cut. Again, you take your craft tacky glue, flood the area with glue, and this time I stuck on sequins, trying to sort of go with the heart pattern, and then I filled in the rest of the area with glitter. There is a video where I did this on a card as well, and it was I used the same heart dye and the same colours of sequins, so you might remember seeing that. Then, another one of my favourite techniques, I seem to have a lot of favourite techniques, but I really like doing this one too. I know it's not really showcasing the confetti that much, but you take your die cut your apertures, and then you fill them with the Nuvo Crystal Glaze, which is their clear, like glossy accents kind of a product. Then you tap in a little bit of Nuvo shimmer powder to give it some colour, and then you sprinkle in your confetti whilst it's still wet. I did this for one of the doily dies that came out. I think it was the Devoted doily die, and in the centre section I did a sentiment that said smile, and I sprinkled in confetti to that, so you might have seen that in the past as well. That's that cool technique. Then I thought I'd show you the different whites in the collection. So this is Ice White, this is Diamond, and this is Snowstorm, and how different they look on black and white. If you get them on one angle, they look the same on black and white, like this middle one and the top one. They look the same on black and white, but then when you tip it in a different angle, this one stays more green, this one goes a bit more pinky, and the Snowstorm changes colour as well, kind of. It's very difficult to pick up on camera. It's very subtle on white, but on black it's very blue coloured. But I just thought I'd show you the difference between the different whites. So like, when you get your glitters home, experiment with them on black and white, because they can give different looks depending how translucent the glitter is and what kind of like finish they have to them, whether they're iridescent or holographic. They'll give different finishes on black and white. Then obviously you can use them as a shaker, which is, I do a lot, so another one of my favourite things. That is the Cloud Circles, and that's one of the little aqua strandy flaky things. I think they call them flakes. Yeah, so that's just using it as a shaker. I have added in microbeads in there as well, because I find that just helps them move around, and that gives that noise as well. Then another one of my favourite techniques is paper piecing, but then when you get fed up of putting the pieces back in, you just add glitter to the remaining sections. So that's using the glitter in those areas. And that's just a kaleidoscope panel that I used because it fitted perfectly on the tag. Then, for those of you who like getting messy and stuff, you can use the confetti and glitter in your expanding mousse. So you just squish on some expanding mousse, sprinkle in a little bit of glitter, and you can even add the confetti. And it didn't seem to deform with the heat actually, so, and it's still got its sparkle and everything. So you can do that with them. And then finally, kind of more of a definitely if you like to get messy, more of a technique. I've got a couple more backgrounds here. These are acrylic pours that I've done using like Nuvo and Tonic products. So this one was actually using shimmer powders. That turquoise colour is actually shimmer powders as well. And I used the glitter too, and this is like a couple of squishes that I did. I have got a whole series on acrylic pouring that I still haven't edited yet, but hopefully that will get edited soon. And I did do a video of pouring with unusual things, and a lot of them were Tonic and Nuvo, but I just wanted to include that in there as well. So you can see the glitter there. That was, so yeah, for pouring with them, I think I mostly used the CRaFTi glue, but I did mix in a bit of the pouring medium as well, because I was using acrylic paints and things, and I thought it wasn't that good to use two different things next to each other. I thought they might crack, but yeah, so you can just mix your glues with a little bit of watered down, mix your glitters with a little bit of watered down glue, and then you can pour them on. I don't know how well it would work if you used multiple glitter colours, because they'd kind of mix together, but it could give a really cool effect too. And then whilst the pour was wet, I sprinkled in some of those star confetti as well. So I hope that's given you a lot of ideas of ways to use all of your Nuvo Pure Sheen glitters, confetti and sequins as well. And I hope it was useful to show this. But I thought, as I've got it made, I might as well do a video on it so it's always there if you want to refer back to it, and I'm sure I'm going to be referring back to it as well, because I'm very forgetful and I forget what techniques I've thought of. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'm sure there'll be more videos in this series coming very soon. So, bye!